Field, Landover, Maryland, where the fans welcome their Washington Commanders.
Action. What's going on out there, Team Commander fans? It's your man, Hollywood Sports, bringing you another video, guys. And in this video, we need to talk about our offensive line. We need a lot of changes on our offensive line. Let me read you the quote that I saw about our offensive line. It says the Washington Commanders have the most cap space in the NFL. That's positive news. But they could increase that number even higher just by moving on from some underperforming veterans on that offensive line. Okay, now we know there's a lot of underperforming on that offensive line, and that's why I said in my last video that maybe Eric Bieniemy really didn't have confidence in that offensive line, really to run the schemes and the things that he wanted to run, and that's why he passed more than he ran. It wasn't really a balanced offense, which caused a lot of defenses to scheme a lot of rush packages against that offensive line, which created a lot of pressure on Sam Howell, which created a lot of sacks. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, all in order, just like that. If you don't have the foundation set, it makes everything fall. Okay, if you're playing Lego blocks, those bottom blocks are very important. If they're not set up, everything could fall down, and that's basically what happened to this offense. So I really don't blame Eric Bieniemy for what he tried to do, especially being in only his first year trying to redevelop that offense. Okay, now let's talk about. Give me 1 second here. Let's talk about Charles Leno. Okay, Charles Leno Jr. was one of the bright spots on the Washington offensive line in 2023. However, the Commanders could save $12 million if they use a post-June 1st designation to waive him. Okay, $12 million. We already have a lot of money under the cap, but they're thinking they can still save $12 million. This upcoming draft is deep with tackle prospects, which is true coming out of college. We got the NFL Combine starting today. If Washington was able to snag one, they believe can be their long-term tackle and blindside protector for Williams or May, or quarterback. So obviously they're going after a quarterback to help out Sam Howell. If it seems all far-fetched, Leno could be on his way out. And as a left tackle, that's supposed to be your best tackle on the offensive line, and I don't think he really performed to that level. He's the average. To me, he's average, but he's not above average. We need more above average elite for that left tackle spot. Now, he would be perfect for the right tackle spot. Okay, let's move on. Now let's talk about offensive tackle Andrew Wiley, that we know he came from Kansas City. And now we all understand why they got rid of that dude. They didn't want to re-sign that guy because he was garbage this year. Andrew Wiley was garbage. We thought because he understood the offensive system coming from Kansas City with Eric Bieniemy, he would be a big benefit and an asset, but he wasn't. Okay, now they're saying he causes $9.4 million of the salary cap to have him on the team. Okay, and they said they could save $1.58 million in cap space if they got rid of him, and that would be great. Okay, it says like Leno, Wiley was in the bottom half of the top 64 offensive tackles in the NFL and blown blocks across the board. Blown blocks. Now we wonder why Sam Howell was running for his life on every play. So defenses schemed to say, hey, all we're going to do is blitz Washington. That's what we're going to do. We're going to blitz them almost 90% of the plays. Okay, he did his best work in run blocking. Okay, ranking number 32, blown block percentage, and somehow speculated perhaps a move inside to guard opposite Sam Cosmi is a way to salvage the soon-to-be 30-year-old veteran who signed a 3-year deal just last off season. Okay, he is not worth a 3-year deal as we know now. So they may waive him. Okay, they can save $9.4 million in cap space. All right, keep that in mind. Let's talk about Nick Gates. That's why I got these big boys behind me in the photo here. It says by CIS measurements and blown blocks. Again, they're talking about blown blocks on this guy, right? He's our center, guys. He calls the plays. He calls the blocking schemes. Okay. Gates was actually near or in the top half of the 32 qualifying teams in the league when it came to overall percentages and pass blocking. 32. We only got 32 teams in the league, so he was dead last. Okay? But his blown run block percentage was incredibly high. And we knew that, right? Placing him 27th in that one category alone. Perhaps that's enough to warrant moving him back to guard where he once played. But some speculation in the salary cap, there is no way the team will pay him what they owe him to stick around. Another 2 years? No way. No way. He got a 3-year deal. He worked out enough. He got through 1 year, but 2 more years? No way. No way. Okay. So what I want to talk about, guys, is when they talk about moving these guys around, maybe they'll fit in different positions. Maybe with our different coaching staff, maybe that would help. Talking about line play schemes and blocking schemes, maybe it will benefit those players a little bit more. But their raw talent isn't there. Maybe the better coaching that we have now may put them in a position to be better players. But when it comes down to crunch time, they really have to bring their skill level to the surface. Okay, it has to be done. You can teach all day, but if they physically can't do it, they can't do it. And again, we can save that money on that cap space to bring in some linemen. And I think we have to go to free agency. We have the most money in the NFL right now, considering they raised the salary cap on all teams. We have the most money in the NFL to go out and get some decent players, okay? As far as O-linemen, free agency. Now, if they can't get them all in free agency, linemen are not growing on cheap trees out there. Every team is looking for good linemen, right? So it's very rare you're going to find a lineman out on free agency, because if they're good, those teams are going to re-sign them. Okay, if they're bad, those teams are going to let them go, just like we're trying to let our guys go, right? So it's tough to go find linemen out there. But you never know. When you go out there and do some searching, you may find some good ones out there in free agency. Sometimes it's not about their talent. Sometimes it's about they want more money, and the general manager is not willing to pay them or don't think they're worth that money. So then that player goes out on the free agent market and says, I'm going to find a team that want to pay me what I'm worth. So sometimes you can find that talent out there, okay? But a lot of teams are saying, man, we need these linemen. We got to pay these boys what they want. But hey, man, sometimes you get, when it comes to money, sometimes those guys don't. Hey, when it comes to money, everything changes when it comes to playing with money. So they think, hey, I ain't paying him that amount of money. Guess what? He goes to free agency. Well, maybe we can find those guys. And again, we have the most cap space in the NFL, so we can afford to go get some decent players, okay? And then they also have an opportunity to find 1 or 2 guys in the draft, depending on their priorities on what they want to go get in the draft. We know they want a quarterback. We know they need a linebacker. There's a lot of needs on our team right now. So it depends on Adam Peters, the general manager, and his staff on how they put that together. So on as far as priorities on how they're going to do this in the NFL draft. But there's options out there, okay? The NFL Combine is starting today. Okay, they're going out there checking out players from all these college teams, getting to know these players, interviewing these players, see where their mindsets are, asking them questions, and maybe they can be on our draft board for the NFL draft. So that's going on. So that's very exciting to see that they're talking to players and seeing where their heads at, so they can develop this draft board. And they said Adam Peters is pretty good at that. So him and his staff are going to do a great job, I think, of bringing in some good players in free agency and in the draft. But I just wanted to bring attention to our offensive line. We all know that needs to be fixed because the trenches is the most important. The offense and defensive line trenches, that's where the battle starts, man, in the trenches. So if we get that right, man, I think it'll be a lot better on our quarterbacks and a lot better on our run game. All right. I hope you guys can appreciate this video. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Give me your opinions on what you think about this whole thing. I'm Hollywood Sports. Thanks for watching. And hopefully I will see you back on the next video.